I mean, it was crazy, man. It's probably, I say, the first time I looked at a decision letter and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You see it. The three most important pieces of that decision denial letter, right? The three most important pieces. The denial letter. You filed for a VA disability claim and it gets denied. Cool. That happens. But if you know what you're looking at, that denial is an opportunity. You know what I mean? That's all it is, really. An opportunity to get the approval, right? The denial's not the end. Oftentimes it's just the beginning. But you got three important parts of that denial letter that you need to focus on, because these are the opportunity zones on every denial letter, right? There's opportunity right here. We're going to talk, we do a little quick run through, 5 minutes or less, keeping it simple. The first section you need to focus on is the evidence section. It used to be evidence considered. I think they've changed it to evidence now. You'll see on this one, it just says evidence. But this shows you everything they considered while they were rating and evaluating this claim. So you want to double check this and make sure they looked at all the statements you sent. Make sure they looked at the records that you sent, or the records that you're supposed to have in your file. If you see a discrepancy here, right, this is where the grounds for the Q claim can start, that clear and unmistakable error. What that means is the VA had evidence in their possession that should have allowed them to grant the claim, but they still denied it. Right? Best way to pull this off from what I've seen is if it's missing in that evidence considered area, right? That section that says if you have something that's not there, the claim gets denied, but you understand this piece of evidence could have flipped that denial to an approval. What you may have is a clear and unmistakable error claim. That's like, what do you call it? It's like a unicorn within this lane of disability benefits. The Q claim, the clear and unmistakable. It's like a unicorn. But how you find that unicorn is by understanding the evidence section on that denial letter. Again, make sure, double check that they reviewed the statements that you sent up and the records that you sent up. If you see discrepancy, that could give you grounds to flip that denial. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Next up, the decision narrative itself, right? Of course, this is important. Let me put it right up there for you. This also opportunity zone. Because if they're denying it, they have to tell you exactly why, right? And they try to make the language as confusing as possible. I get it. Good for them, right? Good for you guys. Trying to make it confusing. We don't care about that, right? Because we have understanding. So we know what we're looking for. We're looking for specific phrases in there, right? When you talk about a denial and you see things like no link, right? No evidence of a link, no evidence of Nexus, or no evidence of a chronic condition related to military service. Chronic, Nexus, link, all those things. When you see that, what they're saying is you need evidence for element 2. Continuity of symptoms. That's all they're saying. They're saying you need element 2, but they won't come out and say it. They'll never come out and mention the 3 elements, you know what I mean? That makes it too easy for people. That's why we mention it. It is what it is, dog. We're giving out trade secrets, baby. But they'll never come out and say that. But that's why you need to understand the phrases, this language that they're using. What is that Nexus? What does that mean? All it means is you need more evidence that you continue to suffer from these symptoms from separation up until now. Let's say you separated in 1998, you filed a claim in 2020. That's 22 years. So we're going to need some evidence from over that time to show that you've been dealing with this disability. If you never went to the doctor, so what? Doesn't have to be medical records. You were around people over those 22 years. You need to get them to write statements, right? At least three or so to write those statements saying that you've been dealing with it, and make sure in there you use the power words, right? Frequent, recurrent, right? The things you were doing to self-manage. Just look at the video for real. Stop playing with me, dog. But yeah, in that narrative, it's important to know which phrases you're looking for. Why was this denied? The fact that it's denied, cool. Why? If you tell me why, I can flip it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. Evidence, important section. Decision narrative, important section. Last but not least, favorable findings. As you can see right here, It's not highlighted, huh? We highlight it on the channel. They'll never highlight it on the letter. It's too important. When you highlight things, people naturally, right, pay attention to it. If you don't highlight it, people overlook it. We understand that. Favorable finding. It tells you which of the elements was approved. If all three elements are approved, the claim is approved. Right? If all three elements are approved, that claim is approved. If they're not, the claim is denied. And in the favorable finding section, it tells you these are the elements that we did approve. Are they going to spell it out? Of course not. Makes it too easy, right? So they're going to make it confusing, yes. But once you have that understanding, now, when you look at your decision letter, you can look for those opportunities. In the evidence section, what do we got? Is there anything here? Anything missing? In the decision narrative, what do we got? What are they saying? No link, no nexus, no in-service event. What are they saying? What is the element? And then in those favorable findings, what elements did we prove? Where do we have power going into this decision letter? Right? That's how it happens. Which elements did you prove? And now you know which ones you need to prove. Keep it simple. Keep it useful. Huh? Come on, that's all we're doing. 5 minutes or less. It was 6. My bad. Learn the information. Use the information. And if you deem it to be valuable, don't be selfish. Huh? Share the information, man. Free game, free game. Hey, free game, free game. Hey, free game, free game.